Hello everyone. Greetings from the IIITB and UpGrad admissions team. Really sorry for the delay. I hope we didn't keep you waiting long. We'll just dive straight away into the session without wasting any much of your time. I hope everyone can see Utkarsh and me, Arjun here. Do drop in a comment to us, and our team will be in touch and direct you to the correct link just in case you face any difficulties. Cool guys, so the agenda for the session today is, so we have first of all organized this first of its kind session for only our shortlisted candidates. So candidates who made through the tough admission criteria that IIITB and UpGrad had created. And we organized this session to address any whatsoever doubts that you may have about the program. We have already seen a few of the doubts coming in prior to the session, but please feel free. It's an interactive session and would love to hear from you during the session. So starting off, guys, very quickly, a brief on the program that we have, which is the PG Diploma in Software Engineering program that we have. It's a program floated by both IIITB and UpGrad, and the whole major motive of floating this program is essentially to help candidates make the switch to the upcoming software engineering, software developer roles coming in the industry. So Utkarsh would like to share more ideas as to how IIITB and UpGrad decided that this was the market situation and how this program can help you bridge that gap.
Sure, Arjun. We always knew that this was coming. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, so many new trends in technology coming up. What has happened is the Indian IT industry has lagged behind. New trends have not only made the switch very important for you all, but what is very important is that there's a crisis looming in terms of jobs which are going to go away. For example, 6 lakh jobs in the next 3 years are going to go away in testing, QA, etc. And the other part to the story is that there are a lot of other jobs which are coming up in new emerging markets.
Exactly, guys. So essentially, in essence, the entire IT industry, the entire technology industry is changing almost month on month now, year on year. There are massive changes coming in, and it's all the more important for software engineers, let alone the ones that are the existing ones, but also the ones which will be coming ahead in the future, to be prepared for these changes. And these changes are primarily not just in the kind of tools and languages that you have to use as a software developer, but also the way you have to think about the software product, you have to think about programming and ultimately translate it into your work. So, starting off, so it's essentially going to be a very engrossing interactive session. So any doubts that anybody may have, please do put in the comments and we'll start taking them up one by one. So cool. So starting off, one of the key concerns that people have, that considering it's a professional program, what sort of career growth can they afford to see after doing such a program? So friends, based on the kind of industry research we have seen, and not just as UpGrad and IIITB, but a lot of independent agencies have come out with salary data around entry level software developers in upcoming companies, and that number is almost ranging somewhere between 6 to 10 lakh for an entry level developer. So basis, if you have the required skill set, these companies are ready to shell out a massive amount to have you on board. And the best part about a career as a software programmer is that there is a massive year-on-year jump as well, because the kind of work you are doing is essentially helping in shaping the industry. So Utkarsh, would you like to tell what sort of companies are out there looking for such talent in the coming times?
Sure, Arjun. Now the whole world is moving to digital products.
True.
So not only you have consumer internet companies, Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, right? All these kind of consumer internet companies with which we are interacting on a day-to-day basis. But there are your IT companies as well who have moved from services to products. So now Wipro has a Wipro Digital, Accenture has an Accenture Digital, and Infosys has an Infosys Digital. And not only this, more than 25% of revenue is coming from product-centric business streams.
Got it. That's really interesting, and that's exactly the sort of trends, friends, that we are seeing in our industry currently as well. And this is the gap. So these companies essentially need quality developers to grow. They essentially need people who can help them take the entire industry to a new level. Because as you can see nowadays, any product that you use, okay, let's rewind to the story of Orkut. They weren't very fast. They got in like 1 billion plus users. People were very happy using it. But do you see anyone using it now? No, because it was closed very soon once competitors like Facebook and all came in. They came in with a new offering. They came in with the flexibility, allowing people to learn about their friends, connect with their friends, and that ultimately changed the way we interact on a day-to-day basis. And today, Facebook.
So what is more interesting is that we talk about Orkut, we talk about Facebook, but after Facebook, see how many social networking products have evolved.
Exactly.
Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, yeah. So a lot of products are evolving now, anyways. So those create a lot of job opportunities for the customers out there.
Exactly. Even the top recruiters that we see coming to premier colleges like the IITs, the NITs, and everyone, these are the leading companies that we see nowadays. Your Olas, your Flipkarts, your Amazons. And these are the kind of skills that they are looking for. So what are those skills, you may ask? That how, if I want to make that career to switch from being in an IT company or not working in a technological role, how can I make that gap, bridge that gap essentially? Now, what is important here to realize that they are essentially looking for skills that previously were unavailable in the market. So as we said, because the technology has evolved so fast in the last few years, essentially there is a very small pool of existing folks who understand this technology and can create great stuff on it. So essentially the kind of supply demand gap that we are seeing at a market level is almost 1 million or so developer roles are going to be created in the next 10 years. And as of now, there are hardly thousands of people who can fill in those gaps. So there's massive potential for these roles to grow. And obviously, when we say massive potential for the role, it obviously involves a massive economic jump for you as well. So you can see salary packages essentially doubling or tripling in the next 5 years if you decide to take up this software programming branch.
Arjun, are you aware that only 5% of students who graduate from Indian colleges are really geared up to take these jobs?
That was a surprising number. I'd assumed it to be much higher earlier.
Yeah. So what is important to realize is that current Indian education system, the college system itself, or the company's training has itself not been able to train the new potential job seekers for the kind of roles on offer.
That's exactly, and this is not just us saying it, by the way, folks. This was a study by Aspiring Minds. It was a leading tech recruiting firm, and they came out with a study that only 5 out of 100 computer science graduates could code properly. Now, this easily suggests that companies are essentially recruiting talent which is suboptimal for them. That's why you keep on hearing news of these massive layoffs happening at these companies, because essentially the skills that these engineers possess is not transferable for the coming future. And this creates an excellent opportunity for anyone or everyone who wants to make that jump into that career stream. So be it if you are in a testing role, be it if you are already in a development role, be it you are fresh out of college, be it you have already worked for 10 years, this entire IT and tech industry is changing very fast, and you need to have the skills and more importantly the knowledge to able to evolve your role to it and be able to succeed. So speaking of the kind of roles evolution that we are seeing, software engineer is slowly coming to be known as terms as software developer, as a product developer, as a digital transformer, as a digital product developer. So these are the sort of changes that we are seeing happening in the countries, and not just our country. It's first of all started already in big countries, developed countries like US and Japan. And obviously this phenomenon is going to seep into India very soon, being one of the leading IT and tech companies in the world.
Arjun, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How has our software development program been evolved compared to the normal courses which are offered in colleges?
Well, it's mighty different, I can tell you that, because we have kept 1 year to our viewers and 1 year to what the kind of talent companies are essentially looking for.
Okay.
So that is one of the biggest changes that you will see in our program that is being offered.
Yeah.
That it's being offered with the key idea of giving you the important skills that you need to succeed. What are these skills that we are going on about, Utkarsh? Would you care to elaborate?
So our approach has been a complete full stack development approach. we are not only focusing on end or the back end or the front end, we are focusing on end to end. So what will you gain out of this course is, once you are graduating from this course, you'll be able to create apps, you'll be able to create programs, you'll be able to understand machine learning better. So yeah, these are the things which are on offer.
Exactly, friends. Exactly, friends. As Utkarsh correctly pointed out, it's not just talking about one segment of programming that you need to understand and be doing well to succeed. You essentially need to have knowledge across the board. So that's exactly the sort of talent, not just that we are looking for. Leading companies, as I said earlier, Google, Flipkart, they are looking for such talent desperately. And because the current market has very few people who can answer this demand for these companies, they have to essentially hire suboptimal talent, which obviously does not succeed in the long run and is thus leading to layoffs and all. So it's very important for you to possess these skills and keep on exercising them and practicing them to grow further in your career. So coming to the basic skills that these companies are looking for. So starting off, the biggest and the most important skill that they need, that you should have strong fundamentals. Because guys, as we said, technology is changing day on day. It's essentially your fundamentals, your core basics that is going to hold you good and allow you to make that switch. The second most important skill that these companies are looking for is familiarity with the latest technologies. Now, because let's say Uber hires me, Utkarsh, and takes me out on a day to be a programmer. All of a sudden, I see this new language and platform that I have never seen before. Do you think it would be easy for me to transition to working there?
To be honest, Arjun, not really. What is needed is a complete basic fundamental understanding of the course. It's not only about the syntax or how you do a language testing, etc.
Exactly.
You need to have that computational thinking where your creativity is tested.
Exactly. Because the kind of products, my friends, we are creating nowadays are essentially consumer facing. So earlier, if you know, there were only software products being created for companies, for their billing, for their database maintenance. Oracle had products, Java was only used by businesses. But today, every one of us has a software product in their hand, and I'm talking about your mobile phones, my friend. So last time, do you remember when you had to stand in the long lines of bank to do basic payment? Gone are those days, courtesy net banking, courtesy your Paytms, courtesy your mobile wallets. So it's very important to understand how these software products are impacting your day-to-day life. So it's important for you to understand how are these products created, to understand end-to-end how it was decided that such a product needs to be created, and how do you finally go on about creating it. Thirdly, we come to the kind of software tools that are being used across the industry right now. So starting on backend, it is important to use tools like Java Spring, to use front-end tools like JavaScript, HTML, CSS. These have been around for a long time, but they are being used in a whole new way nowadays. And coming on to the last and final skills that these companies are looking for is again full stack knowledge. As I said earlier, you need to own and understand the entire life cycle of a software. Only then a company will value your talent. Only then will it be rewarded with just rewards, not just in your CTC, but also designation and the kind of roles you'll be doing later on. So coming on to what our program essentially offers you, my friend, is to make this switch from your current standing to enable you with all these skills that are needed by these top companies and make that switch.
So Arjun, if I would have to ask you, what are the top three differentiating features or important convenient features which you can tell to our viewers right now about the program?
Sure. So the biggest features that we have is we have massive hands-on experience angle to our program. So as we said, we have over 200 plus hours of programming exercises and assignments that our students would be going through on the latest platform. Now we understand that there would be precious little experience you would have had before this of doing this. So we provide you with the necessary guidance. We provided you with the necessary solved examples, as I must say, for you to understand and work on it yourself. And once your hold on the subject matter is good, we then put it to test with assignments and all, because it's very important for you to be designing it in a way it's done in the top company.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one, the biggest.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
What kind of professors are going to teach the course?
Well, guys, you are lucky in that regard that you shall be taught by the best faculty of IIIT Bangalore. IIIT Bangalore, my friends, have been consistently rated as the top postgraduate colleges in the country for the past 10-15 years. So that's the reason we partnered with such a premier college for you to have cutting edge education. Also, the diploma that you'll be getting at the end of the program will help you soar above your peers when it comes to interview shortlisting or even making it to the interview list.
Tell us something about the industry collaborators and industry learning experts who will be coming on the course.
Sure. So the industry collaborators, essentially friends, because as we said, it's a professional course, we would be ideally looking to give you the best of both the education world and the industry relevant skills. So the kind of companies and the experts that we bring on abroad are companies like housing, are companies like your Microsoft. We have had people from JP Morgan over at UpGrad. So these are the sort of industry collaborators we would be getting in, who would be sharing their experiences firsthand for you to learn from them, and also ask them or question them as to what would be the best way possible for you to grow your career.
How much portion of this course will be taught by industry experts?
Well, a major portion, guys, I can right now vouch for over 25% of this program will be taught by leading industry faculty, leading industry members, or visiting faculty. And coming on to the biggest USP of this program, which it holds for professionals like you, is that we provide extensive career support.
What does that mean?
Sure. So career support being Utkarsh, it's one of the most biggest USP, as I said earlier, because we understand that it is a whole new ball game for all our learners to make this switch into the industry. So we start off with the very basics of connecting you on one-on-one sessions with these industry experts that we were talking about. So for example, Utkarsh, if you enrolled, you would be connected to at a level, at a person parallel to, let's say, a senior director of engineering at Flipkart. You can ask them your questions. They'll also counsel you basis your profile as to what will be the best roles for you. Once that is done on your end, what you essentially need to do is, along with our career support team, you shall be creating your interview. We'll be taking you through mock interview preparations. We'll be helping you create your profile, your CV, which will be then shared with relevant companies for your dream role. So UpGrad and IIITB working together, contact companies, get them on board by telling them that we have got this quality talent with us. Why don't you try and hire from them, as this is exactly what you are looking for. So in past, we have seen companies like Ola, Zomato, JP Morgan, Citibank coming here and recruiting people at great roles and great profiles earlier.
What has been the career impact in terms of compensation? What is the percentage jump which people have got out of these programs?
So as I shared earlier, my friends, the kind of job switches that we have generally seen of entry-level software developers ranges from 6 to 10. And the best part is your CTC grows up to 25 to 30% year on year on an average in the first 5 years, and obviously this number obviously continues growing beyond that. So what you guys need to realize is this program is not designed to just give you your next job. It is essentially designed to give you a whole career that you can grow and potentially retire with later on in your life. And that career, my friend, needs to be a rewarding one, both in terms of the quality of work you do and the quantity of economic benefits you get. The self-satisfaction you get from this work is very important.
So will UpGrad be helpful to candidates once they have graduated from this course?
Definitely. So this is where our career support scheme is very helpful for all the candidates. It starts when you are 6-7 months into the program, by which we know how you are performing and how you are benefiting from this program. Once you do that, we undertake the whole exercise of interview preparation, CV preparation, connecting you to top companies, and this goes on till almost 5-6 months even after the program ends. So essentially, it is a whole experience of almost a year that we handhold you to get your dream switch into the next company.
Okay. So how do you enroll in this program? What are the various ways in which you can enroll?
Definitely, friends. So as you guys know, you have already been shortlisted for this program. It is important for you to book your seats now, because the batch is starting on December, but the seats are short and we are seeing them are filling very fast. So it's essential for you to secure your seats by paying the first block of payment, as we have put it out there in our payment scheme. By that, you can reserve your seat for our December batch, which will allow you to graduate by November with a great PG diploma degree, which you can obviously take forward in your career and grow successfully.
Do you have any schemes for awarding or recognizing meritorious students?
Well, we have come up with an extensive scholarship scheme, my friends, which you shall be eligible for post payment of your first block of payment, as I was discussing. What essentially this scholarship scheme allows you to get benefits up to 75,000 rupees off on the program fees. Now, this is again given to very meritorious students, and it's provided through an assessment on an online scholarship test, Utkarsh. So we shall be giving our learners a link to an online scholarship test, which is basically designed to test your aptitude. And when I say aptitude, it's just basically mental ability and some very basic mathematical aptitude that we need, that is essentially essential for succeeding in this program. And post your performance in this program and reviewing your profile by our admissions team, you shall be eligible to get scholarships up to 75,000, my friend. We have already had a few candidates cracking that number, and there are very few scholarships we have to give out of that quantum. So again, I would request you to be fast in booking your seats now.
So what can you tell us about the next list of guests which are going to come on webinars?
Sure. So guys, we already have shortlisted CEOs of upcoming startups like Fabulous. We have people from Flipkart, we have people from Zomato and Housing lined up for you to share their experiences of how the industry is evolving and what you can do to make the switch as well.
So our request to you viewers is that keep switching on to webinars, because these will be manned and led by various experts from companies and industries, which will help you to make your career switch better.
Any questions that we may have, happy to take those. Sure, guys, we are waiting for your questions. Please do help us. This is a great opportunity you have with Utkarsh being the senior program manager on this. He shall be happy to assist you and for you to know whatever specificities you need in order to enroll into this program and potentially take your career to the next level. We have already seen a lot of people making that massive career transition switches from UpGrad, from IIITB earlier. It's essential for you to know. And it is again and again, people, I would even all the press that you're learning about the industry, all the top technology leaders you see, they are again and again emphasizing on the fact that upskilling is essential to being meaningful, being relevant in this. Could you tell us which all industry leaders have said that upskilling is crucial, and how can potential employees go on about doing that, Utkarsh?
Sure. So it starts from Mr. Bill Gates himself telling, and even Mr. Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg himself telling that AI is coming for your jobs and we better be prepared. So what has happened is artificial intelligence is going to eat away a lot of jobs which are quite monotonous.
True.
This includes testing, this includes QA. What happens is these jobs have become quite repetitive. So software programs are being developed to make these workmen redundant.
Exactly, my friends. That's exactly what is happening right now. And again, relating it to the sort of layoffs that were happening in the industry, it is related to these changes in automation, in advancement of technologies that we are seeing, that is essentially impacting these jobs. But please note, as Sergey Brin famously said once, the Google founder, that never has technology advancement lost jobs. It has only gone on to create more in the industry, and that's how the human race has continued to prosper. And such is the case here. Even though lower skill set people may be getting adversely impacted by this, but it's essential for you to know.
So looking at questions.
Yeah, we have just got a question from our friend Shilpi here.
Yeah.
Do we provide any support for entrepreneurship venture? So Shilpi, if you are, again, this program, as we said, we will have industry experts coming, and again, because they are coming from top startups, they themselves are entrepreneurs, major entrepreneurs, as we said, Housing, Zomato and all. So these would again be interactive sessions as you are having with us. You can ask your questions firsthand to them and learn how to grow your startup, which we wish you all the best with. And I'm pretty sure this program would help you scaling it up in the coming times.
I would like to take it up a notch and tell you, Shilpi, that these programs have been designed to make sure that your creative instincts are given a channel to develop. So these programs are not about repetitive learning and rote learning, which has been the case for in the entire education system for a long time. What our program does is make sure that you start thinking from the very basics and become more creative as you move along.
Exactly, Shilpi. And you can see this reflected in the kind of hiring that the companies do. Though you can yourself said, as you yourself said, only 5% of students have the required skills to become a software developer. Yet all the top tech companies go to the leading colleges for recruitment.
Yeah.
The only reason being that their fundamentals are strong, Shilpi. So that's the reason we will focus on making your fundamentals strong, because basis that you can continue growing your entrepreneurship venture. Because as you know, most of the upcoming businesses today are available digitally, are available online, and it's important for any founder, be it Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, be it Mr. Bill Gates, for you to have a good hold over your technology. And how will you enable that is only with more knowledge and more practice. Any other questions anyone may have regarding the program, regarding industry changes? Happy to take those as well, please. Guys, we are here for you. Please do feel free to share any doubts you may have. We are more than happy taking you through, explaining you, helping you realize how this program has the potential to help you. We already have seen people from as far as Amsterdam to Gulf, from Bangalore to Hyderabad, from companies like Accenture, Oracle, already signing up for this program. So you will have a massive spread of people, both experienced and non-experienced, to learn from, which is an integral part of any educational experience, which is learning from your peers. So you will get to learn from your peers, you'll get to learn from faculty, you'll get to learn from industry leaders. So all this combined together to make your perfect product by the time you exit this program.
Guys, your feedback is also very important so that we can improve these webinars and make sure that you get the best out of them. So Anubhav has said hello to us. Hi Anubhav.
Hi Anubhav, really great of you then. Cool. Anubhav, if you have any doubt, please do let us know. Happy to elaborate on it. The reason you can see the confidence stemming from our team is essentially that we believe that this program has the potential to change your career, transform your career, and it's important for you to make the switch now.
Sure. You can always reach out to us, to our counseling team. They are freely available, and they will be able to
Exactly. You can shoot in your doubts anytime at admissions-pgdse@iitb.ac.in.
So Anubhav has asked us a question on, does this program support placement of students? Arjun, you would like to talk about it?
So Anubhav, now I get why you all hello now, because I'm assuming you're just joining. Very quickly, because we have already gone through this part in the webinar already. We want to tell you, yes, there is extensive placement support that we give you, which goes beyond anything that a typical educational institute does, because again, it's a professional program, this one. So the kind of support that we start off is essentially starting you off on a one-on-one mentorship session with a senior industry expert. Post that, we will help you create your resume, your profile, because for any software programmer role, what you go to the company is with the portfolio of projects you have worked on. So during the program, because you are working on awesome projects, we'll help you compile those and share it with the relevant companies. We will also have mock interview sessions for you ahead of your interviews to prepare you well for that. And moreover, we'll connect you to the top industries who are looking to hire in those relevant roles. So if, let's say, Utkarsh wants to become a backend developer, and we know companies like Ola are looking for a backend developer, we shall be helping you make the connect, and post that it's all on your skill, how you nail that interview.
Sure. Arjun, to add to that, one of the key differences in our program and key highlights compared to normal general college programs is that we don't judge our students based on CGPA. What we judge or ask our companies to judge students are on certain sample or certain live projects which are pretty relevant to what industry they are going to. And there are a lot of live projects which we have lined up with. In previous programs, we had projects from Uber, we had projects from Savan, and we had projects from Ola as well.
Exactly, my friend. So because through the program, you would be working on industry relevant projects. So what does industry relevant mean? Essentially, we'll give you projects that typically a day-to-day software developer and these leading companies works on. So for example, the case that we were referring to with Uber, we were essentially made our students work on a supply demand gap thing, which is essentially the essence of Uber, that if there are 20 people asking for a cab in an area and there are only 10 cabs available, who do you decide to give it out to? So these are the sort of industry relevant programs that we shall be providing you during the course, which you shall be getting a flavor of working in teams, which is again integral in today's development scope, because you don't have to work alone anymore. You're working in teams of 5 to 6 developers creating independent products, which is essential. You have the required team skills, communication skills, and you would be imparted all this during the program.
And also we will try showcasing these projects in the most relevant manner to the industries and industry partners of ours.
We just received a question from Shilpi on this, and Shilpi, just give me a minute to read this. So you say you are from a SAP functional background and planning for this course to switch to machine learning. Having a programming experience is a must for machine learning, which you don't have. Exactly, Shilpi, you have been spot on in realizing that the advanced technologies like data engineering, like machine learning, these require a great command over your programming skills. This program, however, was created with the intention that people who may have had no relevant background in programming can also benefit from it, and even people who have had experience in programming can learn new things to take their career ahead. So this program starts off on the very basics of data structures and algorithms. We quickly touch upon those through IIITB's leading faculty. That's where their experience, their learning command really helps our students. And then we help you make the switch to advanced technologies and getting your hands dirty, may I say, on the latest technologies for you to make that switch, be it in your own entrepreneur venture or even working in top companies. That's awesome, Anubhav. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Anubhav, my friends, have already done BCA and he wishes to know if how this would be beneficial for him. So Anubhav, will as if you see our program course, it starts off on the very basics of data structures and algorithms, but we teach it to you in a way so that you can help link it to the sort of software development which is happening currently. So because the way we read data structures and algorithms, and myself being a BTech in computer science from a top engineering college, we learned data structures and algorithms in a very basic point of view. Now, the way they are being leveraged in day-to-day development, in day-to-day iteration of software products is what we'll be teaching you through this program. Once you have command over that, towards the advanced courses which you'll have later on, that knowledge would be very helpful for you to make the jump.
So one thing which I would like to add here is that what our program brings to the table is that it's pretty dynamic compared to the college courses or distance learning courses which offer. We have been able to include effort from 70% of our content is from discussion with industry partners.
Exactly.
And only 30% is from university or academia.
Exactly. Because the whole idea here is for you to make that professional switch. And how do you do that is basically with the professional skills. So knowledge is important for getting those skills, but it are ultimately those skills that will take you forward in your career.
So Shilpi here mentions that SAP has its own product for machine learning. Shilpi, can you a bit elaborate on
as to what is your question here exactly?
Would be happy to answer this. But
so if I'm premeditating the question correctly, Shilpi, if you want to know if we are teaching something like that in the program, is it? Meanwhile, others, please feel free to share your questions. We are here to answer those, and more than happy taking you through in details to explain how this is very beneficial for you, because as I said earlier, it's beneficial for people who are looking to enter the industry with no experience earlier. It is beneficial for people who are already in the industry because they will learn newer technologies and allow them to take their career forward in IT and tech industry. It is helpful for people who have had no relation with IT and tech earlier. Even if you are a marketer today, but realize that being a software developer is more fruitful for you, is more career rewarding for you, this program will help you make that jump.
Arjun, one thing we have to realize is that the whole world is going digital.
True.
And you know, earlier companies like IKEA or Starbucks, they were told as either they were a coffee company or a furniture company. But it's the differentiation between a hardware furniture company and software company is gradually eroding a lot.
True.
And this is opening up a lot of digital opportunities. And
Exactly.
that's how we have designed the program. That's why we want to take this program, because we believe there's a lot of opportunity out there, and we would like you guys to take this opportunity.
Exactly, friends. As he said, he gave the example of IKEA and all. Uber, my friends, which app which all of us use. Uber itself does not describe itself as a cab company. They say we are a technology company who are leveraging technology to run these cabs. So for all you know, Uber can very easily leveraging this technology may start running something else entirely tomorrow. So that is the strength technology has, that it allows you the flexibility to grow your business in any way. It allows you to shape your career in any way. And that's what we aim to do through this program.
Sure, Shilpi, we understood. It's not a question. Yeah, I would like to add to that the language which we are using or the platform which we are using does not have any prerequisite to our program.
Exactly. And the sort of tools that we would be teaching, very quickly, just naming a few and not getting too much into details, we would be teaching JavaScript, React. React, my friends, was a software tool which was designed by Facebook developers themselves. Then we are working on Java Spring, we are working on HTML, CSS, Java, Python as well. So the whole idea here is we are working on tools which are very easy to learn and they are open source. So what are open source software, my friend? Open source software are not licensed by a company in particular, but it's open for anyone to edit and learn from. And this is where how technology has really bloomed or blossomed, is leveraging these open source technologies have allowed them the flexibility to grow at a crazy rate.
So Anubhav has told that he already has a job in a government job, and he would like to know how this benefits him in terms of monetary compensation over his current job.
Got it. So again, Anubhav, the kind of numbers that we can share with you is that the sort of starting level packages that we see, it starts off from around 6 to 10 on an entry level jobs for a software developer. And then this number has a 25 to 30% year-on-year jump. So very soon, within 2 years, if you even start off from something as low as 6, the projected run rate is going to take you up to 8 or 9 within 2 years, and gradually on to 12 to 15 within 3-4 years. So again, I said, Anubhav, you have to realize that we are not just giving you the next job, we are giving you a career which has its own growth, which will make your job relevant even after 7 or 10 years down the line. And again, a difference, and just connecting your day-to-day job with what we are seeing in software development. Here, while working as a software developer, you will be at the forefront of technological innovation. You will be the reason of how startups grow, of how businesses grow, of how businesses evolve, and that will give you a driving seat control over that. Rather than in your current government job, we understand how the government engine works. You would have a lot of relevant parties connecting to you, ordering you, addressing you. So this allows you the freedom to express yourself, to make your work count and have an impact on this.
At a very philosophical level, Arjun, what I would like to add is that while government jobs have been considered safe and pretty remunerative, but what is happening, and which is very important to realize, which I would like to doubly stress upon our viewers, is that the whole technology thing is making this whole previous mindset of government job is a safe job going away.
Exactly, my friend. Because as we said, most of the things are switching to digital. You already hear Mr. Narendra Modi's call of turning India digitally. What does that mean? That a lot of processes which were people intensive will now be machine intensive. So government is themselves looking to hire a number of software developers.
Correct.
Because that's how a industry, a company, a country essentially grows. We have seen this transition already happening in the developed country. It has started in a developing country like India, and it's only going to grow in the coming times.
Moreover, let us look at the bank jobs. So see the whole industry, how the banks, the whole monetization, whole demonetization changed it. How Paytm, a digital product, has actually become proactive, and the transactions in banks have been reducing day by day.
Exactly, my friend. So you need to understand of how technology is vastly different and is going to impact you in the coming times. Happy to take any other questions. Anubhav, feel free. Shilpi, any others we may have. Happy to take your questions. Please, this is the time for you We have our expert in the house who can answer any questions you may have. Any doubts you may have lingering as to how this program can help you, whether this program is right for you. We already have people from work experience of 0 years fresh out of college to people who have already been working for 12 to 15 years. So you will get a massive spread of people to learn from their experiences, understanding how technology works in their space, in their industry, and how you can learn from it.
Anubhav has asked, is the compensation going to be 8 to 9 lakhs per annum or 8 to 9,000 per month?
Anubhav, the number is going to be 8 to 9 lakh per annum, and it's not just us saying it. No, it's not just Utkarsh and Arjun saying it. If you Google it, if you go to companies like Glassdoor, if you Google what is the starting salary of a Flipkart engineer, what is the starting salary of a Wipro digital, exactly, of a Wipro digital developer, you will find these numbers coming back at you. And moreover, if you just look at the again and again, we are stressing on the part, it's not just about your next job. So you might say that, okay, you are giving me a package of 8 to 9 lakh. In my current government job, I'm earning 10 lakh. But the growth potential that a software developer holds is what can take your 10 lakh to be a 40 or a 50 lakh figure in the next 10 years, rather than being in government and just making a slight jump. So these are the sort of career trajectories are vastly different.
Yes. That is how we have designed our programs, and that is what we want to aim.
Exactly. And that's why we are again and again insisting on that this program helps you clear your basics. We aren't just teaching you a certain set of tools, because tools, as we said, may be irrelevant in the coming times. But this knowledge, this skill set that you gain from this program will continue for years to come. Come on, friends, feel free to answer your question. We have still got another 10 minutes for the program. Happy to take you through any queries you may have, anything to help you make that switch. I would like to remind our candidates that we have a scholarship test coming up this weekend that you can participate in and be eligible for scholarship up to 75,000. So you need to realize it's a massive figure of money, and this is what IIITB and UpGrad are ready to have great meritorious students joining in the program, and you would be learning from these students, from the faculty and experts.
And finally, the viewers, make sure that you stay tuned to our webinars, because we have very interesting names, digital heads, co-founders of very interesting companies coming up on our show. And this will be a pretty interview kind of a setup.
Exactly. So just imagine it like a coffee with Karan, but about software engineering.
And there are goodies as well.
That will come in the coming times, my friend. Any question? Yeah, we have a question. We have someone who is asking that they are from a non-BTech background. Do software companies recruit non-BTech for dev roles? So what I would like to assure you, and the type of discussions we have had with industry leaders, with industry recruiters, and when we say industry, these are the top companies.
Yeah.
They say that they are more concerned about the skill set and the thinking rather than the background that you have. And more importantly, my friend, that's why we have come up with this PG diploma program, because it gives you an official certification from a top engineering college like IIIT Bangalore. So Kanesh, even if you may not have done your BTech from a typical engineering background or a typical engineering college, this new PG accreditation that you will be getting in will help you easily come up above your peers when it comes to resume shortlisting and be eligible for interviews that you can crack later to get your dream job. So again, the kind of content we'll be presenting to you starts off from the very basics. So you may have little to no relevant knowledge about that. We only need sustained hard work from you and an aptitude to grasp this and practice it regularly.
Anubhav has asked that fine engineers can be taken from IIT or A-grade schools. Then why they will consider students who are going to like persons who are working in government jobs, that kind of a background? Yeah.
Utkarsh, if you want to take this.
Yeah, sure. So Anubhav, firstly, stats show that only 5% engineering students actually are skilled enough to get into jobs, which are coming up in the digital era. So currently what is happening is that although there are a lot of A-grade students out there, but the kind of requirement, massive requirement which digital companies have, we really need much more.
Exactly. As I said, almost 1 million plus development roles are going to be created in the coming 10 years. And the number of students which graduate from these IITs and all is going to number in a few thousand. So, and that too, we know most of the IITs are opening their own startups. Look at the Flipkart founders, the Snapdeal founders. So, even if these companies just completely exploit the IIT base, there is still millions of jobs
out there. One more point I would like to add is that please do not consider the jobs which people get in the IT companies in terms of testing, QA, as the kind of jobs we are referring to. We are referring to jobs in the new Ubers and
as a
Olas
software developer, essentially, my friends. Because as we said, it's like someone wants to get something done, and they have a person who has the required skill to get that job done. They would easily prefer having those. And this is not just me saying. Even if you come and interact with our industry experts through this program, they would be echoing the same sentiment. And that's how it helps in career support that we provide later on, because we get in the same industry experts for recruitment. So they are happy to walk the talk, as to say that, because we have designed this program essentially asking them what is the skill gap that is existing in the market and what can we teach to students to help bridge that gap. You can easily make that bridge coming over to this program by IIITB and UpGrad.
And for some context, we both are from IIT, and we still believe that there is a lot of opportunity out there. It's not about IIT or A-grade schools. It's about the kind of opportunity available, and it's not about your school or college which you go to. It's about the kind of skill set which you have, which will give you the job.
Exactly. And we have had people from IITs actually applying for this program. Sadly, none of them is available right now on this info session, but we have people from IITs applying for this program because they understand the jump that they need to give in their profile in order to crack these sort of development roles that we are talking about. Any other questions, please? Kanishka, Anubhav, Shilpi, anyone out there? It has been a great session, listening to your doubts, addressing them. We have actually last 2 minutes of the session. So any last request, happy to take those. I would again remind you that we have a scholarship test coming, and if you want to book your seats now, please do get in touch with our admission counselor. Please do refer to a provisional offer letter that would have come to you from IIITB itself. Please do respond to that. Please do adhere to that to book your seat today for the program and be eligible for a great scholarship. And we just do not have scholarship. We have an extensive scholarship scheme. So it will be covering a great number of students. So if you believe you can perform well in a mental ability test and come up over the competition, we have got great amounts of financial money out there for you. Cool, guys. We are just going to give this a minute more, and then we'll call it a wrap. Exactly. It's a weekday. All of you would be tired, coming from colleges, coming from offices. Again, we are reachable through our email ID. You can find it on our program page at upgrad.com and go to the software engineering page, and you can get in touch with our team with any doubts or concerns you may have, and it will be answered swiftly by our IIITB and UpGrad faculty or the admissions team themselves. So we have addressed your concerns regarding placement support, regarding what we are going to teach you through this program, how this program will help you make that career switch, will help you, what sort of careers are out there, what is the salary packages out there for these software developers, and hopefully this will help you make that decision in your career. Because it's important, people, now is the time to transition from your jobs, because there's already a lot of turmoil that we are seeing on a lot of roles in the IT companies, and these IT companies themselves are now creating these new roles which need to be filled up, and for that people really need to upskill fast. We have had people from US talking about it, your Bill Gates, your Mark Zuckerberg. We have had Tech Mahindra CEO talking about it. We have had the chief HRO of Wipro talking about how important it is to upskill.
And stay tuned to these webinars, because we have very interesting names coming up. And
yeah, you won't get to see us every time. This was just us doing this round, and you'll be having industry experts coming in, and you can learn from their experience firsthand. So cool, my friends. We'll call it a wrap here. Thank you so much for tuning in.
For coming.
And it was a great session. Thank you.
Thank you.